Let's kick it old school! Old school essentials. The further adventures of the Thunderous Fury.
All right, it is the Further Adventures of the Thunderous Fury, session 62. Time for the recap.
Everybody finally manages to get the lighthouse, Zofan included. Then we all meet the friar, Fieldgrave, who reveals his job is to lead the lost back. But it's a very, how shall we say this, melancholy, morbid job, because when they leave the area, they may indeed turn to bones and dust. And he is afraid that we are the same. After a little talking, we figure that out. We find a few other interesting details from the friar, such that most elves serve the Cold Lord. Jontor is confused about that, but, if the guy pays him better than Gruul, he might consider it, Karn, of course, attempts to find out the religion of the friar. And finally, once, we have somebody who manages to keep Karn from proselytizing too much, because the friar says, is St. Cuthbert one of the 100 saints of the one true God? And Karn goes, yeah, that's it, great. He's found a co-religionist, and everybody's happy. So the friar figures out that we got some wood from the goat, and decides that he is going to go replace that, because, the wood is important in keeping the place warm, and does it in the middle of the night. And despite being out in the middle of the night, he tries to get us up early, which indeed shows that he is very similar to one of those damn Cuthbertites. But Basil Bessix and Zofan plead that they got in at the wee hours of the morning and need more sleep. So yay, all of us get a bit more sleep. Start out the next day, as usual, are fighting the cold, before we're indeed fighting something huge and purplish with a huge club, who manages to grab someone from the other group. After a bit of back and forth, in which Felix steals the day because he gets a nat 20 and does a lot of damage, it falls down dead. And there's a sack of fresh meat that it drops, but we decide maybe that's not the smartest, considering it was probably going to eat one of the party members. So in any case, we leave that, but we take a feather mask that covers the eyes and the nose, who Jontor stupidly puts on, but finds out it's not cursed. No, it's just, it's a mask of, how shall we say this, inattention, which he gives to Basil Wilberforce, because, of course, the thief wants as little attention as possible. Once again, we trod down the path and fight the cold, and yet another item. This time it's a goat with red eyes, who appears to try to do something to the people who see its eyes, but everybody saves, so nothing big there. And again, a short fight but merry, and it goes down fairly well. We finally get close to the next and last lighthouse, and see the building next to it. But no, we are greeted by people doing reverse fishing. Yes, indeed, the fish people come out of the lake and are attempting to grab us instead of vice versa. So once again, there is a bit of back and forth, but we come out on top, mostly, except for poor Felix, who gets beat up a bit. And we decide that, hey, it's fish fillets for supper. Indeed, find the fishing line, that is the rope leading back to the hole in the lake, but we are unable to pull any additional fish out from there. Oh, well. At the lighthouse, we are greeted by a sapient would be the correct word, otter and weasel, who are both quite happy to eat fish raw, but some of us want it cooked. Some of our party partake of sashimi, but in any case, everybody ends up well fed. And it turns out that the otter and weasel are not races. They were turned sapient by one of the powers of the Dolmen Woods and then forced out. And so now they are lighthouse keepers. finally, the last leg, except of course we're fighting yet again the cold and another beast. I mean, I'm sorry. You'd think much wouldn't live in the cold, but apparently everything that does it by preying on, hapless travelers. This one is using a chest as bait, and the only thing we see of it is lots of black tentacles coming out and striking at people. And despite its many tentacles and its many attacks, it's not that tough, and once again goes down. Now, fortunately, the chest itself turns out not to be more than bait, and we get a number of items out of it, but we don't exactly know what they do. So we finally get to the doorway out, which is near a cliff that looks like it's about to fall down, and start exiting. And then we find out the terrible, terrible truth that the friar said, which, yes, indeed, all of those confused other party members that go out turn into piles of bones as they exit. So the friar is going to have a fun time burying multiple people. Since that was a trip through ferry, several people failed their saving throws and do not remember the trip for the cold, and are going, huh? What are we doing here? Where are we? Excuse me. But we get we all get out, and we get slightly oriented, find out that apparently the town is tentacle crazy, because at least two of the people we see have tentacle tattoos, and we can share those tentacles as a meal in order to get a decent night's rest, which indeed we do. So, and that's where I think we are. Yep. Anything else?
Yeah, you guys came out and the town of Fort Vulgar and went to Juke's Knob, where you presented the black tentacles that you had for food. And the woman there who was working got all excited because you brought some food for her to disperse, and she was going to allow you to have room and board for the evening, and they were going to have some food served tonight, kind of a celebration. You find out that there is some kind of feast tomorrow for one of the saints, Feast of St. Pius. So this is going to be kind of leading up to it. It's kind of the pregame before the big feast tomorrow. And that's where we left off. And there was going to be some talk of arm wrestling and things of that nature tonight.
Basil is keenly interested in proving himself as champion of St. Vulgar.
Just roll into the evening. You guys have your rooms, and she is meticulously trying to cook up this food, season it properly. It does have sort of a foul stench to it, but she is undeterred.
It's tentacles.
Yeah, the trick with the octopus is, and I'm being literal here, cook it quickly, because if you cook it for too long, it turns into the consistency of tire rubber. It does not get more tender like you would think most meats would.
Or just pull it out of the water, chop it up, and eat it.
Well, yeah, there is that.
What's the name of the woman again?
The burly, short-horned woman.
Yeah, of the goat folk.
Brewwig Shankwold. She has ginger fur and one long fang-like tooth, and she keeps one forearm shaved, revealing her tattooed tentacle coiling around her arm.
Is the long tooth like off to the side, kind of like?
Yeah, it's just like hanging down. Yeah.
Time of day is it now?
It's like late evening. The sun is about to set.
So almost Karn's bedtime.
Yeah. Yes, it is almost Karn's bedtime.
Zofan would be probably grab dinner and grab dinner and then maybe hang out in the common room for a little bit before retiring.
Okay. Well, you get the feeling this place is going to be hopping when the sun goes down, that there's going to be lots of turn-up ale that you have brought is going to be handed out, and
Yeah, John Tor has a mission. Thank you for reminding me. John Tor has the mission to turn everybody on to turn up ale.
Sitting merchants in this town he can visit tomorrow.
Don't you mean armorers? Aren't you after
Armorers, merchants, yes. he's
No,
looking
there is,
for 'em.
you would have to, she says you have to go to Prigwort in order to see an armorer. She says here, you might be able to go, the inn is right on the dock, so you might be able to go out to the docks and trade with somebody. Cause there's a couple little people who set up shops, just some goods that they sell, but
Okay.
But Prigwort is where I could find an armorer, right?
most likely, yeah.
That's on the way to Migger's Reach.
Yeah. She says it's probably about a day and a half to get there. If you take the road.
That's the other thing that John Tor is doing. John Tor is crying over his stew because this is the first, or whatever is being fixed, slice of tentacle, whatever. This is the first real food, like cooked by a cooked food he has had since he joined this company, and it is making him so happy. And it is making him so happy he is crying.
You don't have to get teary-eyed over the Crabble.
He will go up to the innkeeper and, this is the best food I've had forever. This is so good.
It is pretty good, but it needs more goat meat. It's like Basil pulls out some of the goat jerky on his back and kind of.
Well, you better hope she doesn't take that the wrong way.
It's
So where'd you get that goat meat from?
I found it. I forgot where we got it. There's been many opportunities for goat meat.
Goat meat.
Ryan says, halfway across the damn world, you would not believe the month we've had.
Clintock just cusps his coin purse and just handles it. Yeah, it's been a pretty good month this month. I don't know what you're complaining about, Orion.
Basil looks at John Tor and says, so tell me why, I thought you liked this turnip beer. Guzzle up, drink up.
Yeah. Well, John Tor's drinking too, but he's had drinks with him the whole time. He hasn't had actual, cooked by a cooked food since he joined this place.
Yes, cooked food is a little bit of a luxury since we lost our cook.
Yeah, who was our cook? I can't remember.
One of the hobgoblins, I think.
Yeah, the hobgoblin was cooking pretty good for us. Didn't Karn end up being a good cook?
He did. Yeah, Karn did cook, but it was unseasoned. Remember, it was just.
Yeah.
Karn doesn't think that stuff called, salt, is appropriate. It's
Bad for the heart.
It's too decadent for him.
Yeah, it's too decadent. Yeah. So yeah, eventually Friar Fieldgrave will come in, and he just, he's handed a plate of this squid, kind of looks at it like, oh, I remember this. And he sits down with some turnip ale. He seems to be he doesn't seem to mind. Seems to be happy just to have some food. And he comes over and sort of sits near where you guys are. He doesn't want to sit with you. He sort of sits adjacent. He doesn't want to interrupt.
John Tor is well on his way to sloppy drunk also. He goes over and puts his arm around Friar Fieldgrave. Oh man, you have such a terrible job. Everybody you meet is gonna die. But it's so good of you to put them to rest. You're a saint. Oh, sorry, I shouldn't say that, but you act saintly. Yeah, that's how you say it.
Well, I see you've been hitting the turnip ale quite frequently.
Yeah, honestly, it's not that good, but man, it goes well with the stew. Hey, I couldn't tell the guy that there. He was so proud of it. And it was a good job. Do you know how hard it is to brew in those conditions? But, but always happy to help a fellow brewer.
It is, well, very, very kind of you. I assume you all will be, as he looks to the rest of the group to get somebody to give him a coherent answer. We'll be leaving in the morning. Do you need me to accompany you, or?
First thing in the morning, about 5 a.m., right before the sun arises.
Yes. I don't know about you guys, but I'd like to be rid of this hag stench. I can't smell it, but
You know
smell
it's
me.
there.
There's nothing worse than walking around with a body odor that only others can smell.
Like that makes no sense. It's worse if you smell like a troll all the time.
I don't know what anybody's talking about. I don't think anybody around here smells bad. Tell me, do you have any kind of liquor? Some distilled spirits of sorts?
You ask it. She says, she says, I get you another glass of crabble, which is the sour crab apple cider.
Oh, I was wanting to buy a shot for my friend John Tor over there.
Oh no, you're not, you bastard.
Okay,
Ah.
give me 2 of the crabbles. We'll have a chugging contest, John Tor.
And in the description, it says wince inducing sour crab apple cider.
John Tor, I bet you I can drink this faster than you can. Here's a gold piece. If you drink it faster than I can, I'll give you a gold piece.
Let's see. What is this guy's wisdom? Is his thumb stat? You're on. He attempts to chug the crabble.
Basil does the thing, where he puts it to his lips, but he's not really swallowing. Then he goes, well, look, you won. And he gives him a gold piece.
I doubled my money. Seriously, 1 gold piece. After I bought supplies for him, that was all he had.
The 2 drinks cost you a gold.
Okay, so I got 2 gold pieces left. I have others, but he's got 9 platinums and 6 silvers, but.
Oh, wow. I was going to say, there's no way you're that broke.
Oh, he's got lots more back on the mule.
Oh, right. That.
He's got 441 gold, 50 minted gold, 90 platinum pieces.
Yeah, if John Tor found out how rich some of these people are, he would just be beyond flabbergasted.
So the silver pieces aren't technically his; they're Karn's.
So the sun begins to set, and as it does, some more of the dock workers come in. There's probably a dozen of them that come in. They look very rough. They all have that tattoo and some scars, and their clothes are just they look wet and soiled, and they've been out here working, unloading some of the barges that come down the river, and they're very happy that they are given a complimentary piece of the black tentacle and a little bit of the turnip ale, which of course they're going to hang out there and drink, so that's where she's going to get her money back, because she's tasted this tentacle stuff and not really crazy about it, but I guess seasoned it enough. Maybe so she gives them a little bit of taste of that. They're all happy, and they kind of notice you guys in there because you've sort of like doubled the occupancy of this place.
So Orion's going to ask if she has a local bard or equivalent.
No, I don't think there's. She looks over at the dock workers. There might be a couple singers amongst them once they get enough drink in them, but I don't think that anybody is
okay. Well, I'm up then, and he's going to. He was going to do more. What would it be? I know the term. I can't think of it. Basically, saga set to a sort of rhythm, and he's going to do the great saga of crossing of fighting the cold, and then your blood is up because the nasty ogre is attempting to take you and eat your friends, and then you're fighting the cold again, and then the nasty demon goat is up trying to steal your soul, and then you're fighting the cold again, and then the nasty tentacle beast is trying to take you, and that's where the tentacles come from. Eat more, drink more, fight the cold.
Is this what style of song is this?
It's more like chanted lore, like it keeps a meter and rhythm, but it doesn't rhyme. And again, I know the name of that style, but I can't remember it off the top of my head. He's not good enough to do rhyming on the fly, but he can keep the beat on the fly as he tells the story of the terrible crossing. And John Tor, who failed his saving throw, by the way, goes, "Oh man, that's such a great story. You make up the most incredible things." Because John Tor doesn't remember it.
Did Orion pass his
Now, Ryan passed. Ryan remembers.
Yeah, I have Felix,
So it is-
Orion, Basil W, and Zofan all passed.
Right. Ryan is telling the story of, crossing the cold and where your meal and your turnip ale came from.
So they enjoy that song very much and go back and get some more turnip ale, which now is being charged for, and another helping of the black tentacle.
I imagine that like the tentacle was like also extra salty, just to really,
Oh yeah, yes.
really force the drinks.
One of the dock workers says, "I heard something about there'll be arm wrestling."
Oh
He
God.
lets out a big belch, and it smells like squid and turnips.
Oh boy.
Karn looks at everybody and says, "Don't you think it's time we go to sleep now?
It's just the evening's just started, friend.
Evening is time for bed. I bid you all a good night." And he goes up and he goes to bed.
Okay.
He's got an hour of praying to do.
Clintock walks up to the guy that was excited about arm wrestling and says, "I doubt you could arm wrestle one of those matrons that carries water from the well to do the morning's washing."
What?
Oh God, he's paying them on. Okay, whatever.
You say I don't do that kind of work. I haul the heavier boxes and sacks that come off the barges. I don't do that matron's work.
Oh, so they've got you mopping the deck now?
Ooh.
I don't take kindly to your attitude. You come in here, you're out of towner. Are you a northerner? Up came from the north, down the stream, coming us to the river, telling us how to do things down here.
Oh, I've never. It doesn't matter where I'm from. You wouldn't know it anyways. I guarantee that my friend could beat you in an arm wrestling competition, and I put money on that.
As of course you would.
You don't say.
But what about you lot? Will any of you put money on this?
Oh yeah, we will.
All right. 5% fee, and I handle all the bookings. Just line up here, place your bets.
He wins either way. I love it. I love it.
So who's your
My champion? None other
Oh,
than Basil. What's your last name?
Bessex.
Basil Bessex.
Is Clintock loud? Like, is he loud enough where we would expect to hear this?
Oh, he's being very loud at this
Okay.
point. He started off kind of quiet, but it was kind of grew in volume. And he says, he's got an arm that is stronger than steel. I've seen him bend it without even blinking.
Basil's he writes down on a note of paper the training regimen.
Ben Steele.
Great.
That's a great idea.
I've seen him go toe to toe with an oxen with one hand holding it back.
Needless to say, where is your champion?
The one guy says, "All right, I will." He doesn't look that tough.
I don't know. That guy looks tougher than this Basil guy to me. I got a gold that says he can take Basil. And with a wink, he hands a gold to Clintock. Who wants to see me? Gold for gold.
All right. Yeah. So about 10 of them put in a gold piece. The
What that
short-horned
gold
woman is watching Clintock, and she's just watching you intently. If you keep them from buying my shit tonight, I'm gonna wring your neck. You don't have to make an insight check. That's the vibe you get from her. You better not be.
Hey, Orion talked the meal up with a great story about where it all came from. She should be happy he talked the meal up.
She is, but if Clintock gets them out of all their money, then they're not going to be able to buy said meal.
There's the problem.
So yeah, the first guy, the one guy stands up. He's got takes his shirt off. He's got scars. He's human. He's got that tattoo, and they all crowd around him. All right, Edgar, show him what you got.
Edgar the Challenger.
And we just did a D20 roll, right?
I believe so. Yeah, it was the lowest.
Under your strength.
Yeah, it was under the strength score, right?
Yep.
All right, so this is what I'm gonna do. We're gonna roll randomly to see what his strength score is.
Oh, nice.
20, 20, 20. Come on, 20.
All right. He has got 11 strength.
Wow.
Hey, not weak.
All right. My first roll is a 2.
Ooh.
Wow.
My first roll is a 13. Is it less than or equal to?
Yeah.
Okay, so he passes.
Okay. I would say that he probably looks like he has the advantage since I rolled very low.
Yeah.
All his buddies like, yeah, Edgar. All right, next round. I rolled another 2.
Wow. Damn, that guy.
Rolled a
was
17.
Okay, so
Oh,
he's like pushing. He's like, ugh.
Yeah, it's like, "Urgh." And
What's this?
Basil's like, no.
Clintock is going to is there anyone near the table that looks like they've been drinking a lot?
Other than Torjon, yeah.
Yeah, other than anyone in my party.
Yeah.
My idea is I'm going to try and subtly bump one of the very drunk people into the arm wrestling so that like they land on it and interrupt the match here.
Oh, completely interrupt it?
Completely interrupt it.
Okay. Yeah, you can. Yeah, you don't need to roll. You could do that.
Okay,
Let's see
but
what
I want to try and do it in a way that it's not apparent that I did it.
Okay. Okay. So,
Do you want a dex or
yeah, dex roll's fine. Yeah.
All right. A 7 under 13.
Well, you guys wouldn't notice, but one of Edgar's crew, Waltish, gets knocked over and he just kind of sprawls onto the table. Oh, I think I had 2 drinks too many. And you hear the table, like one of the legs crack. Oh, sorry.
I look over to Edgar and I say, trying to throw the match, are we?
Oh, no, I don't think so. Get him out of here.
Oh,
So
when
a
in
couple
doubt,
of his
man.
buddies grab Waltish and they drag him outside. Sober up, and then you hear a splash. All right. Where were we?
I think you were losing.
I don't think so. Ready?
Yeah, just like shaking his arm out, getting the pump worked out.
17. Yeah, definitely threw him off his game.
Yeah, it's 11. So it's 11 under 13. So
Yes.
Basil like comes in hot.
Oh,
His biceps are firing on all cylinders as he goes down.
I rolled a 13, which is over his 11.
That's a 7.
Okay. It's 2 out of 3, right?
2 out of 3.
Okay. Describe how you beat him.
So after the interruption, Basil's like, now he's warmed up. That was the fail. That was the failure mode here, is that he didn't properly warm up before exercising. So now that he had a little bit of a sweat, like he was in the zone, and he clasps his hand, and it's clear that like Edgar just lost all his steam, and Basil, as he's going down, like his veins are popping, and he slams with force Edgar's hand on the table, and it comes down so hard that the pitcher, like there was a mug of turnip ale, and it pops up in the air, and as he catches it as it pops up, and he downs it.
Yes.
Nice.
Yeah, a couple of them clap and they kind of get side looks from their friends. And they grab Edgar and they're like, you're not any kind of challenger. And they escort him out and you hear a splash.
The curse of Basil, that could be him. If he loses, that they just throw him out into the drink.
Who's next to challenge Basil? Come on,
Right.
don't be shy. Surely you've got somebody here stronger than this guy.
Clintock goes over to the door, opens it up, and he says, "Around for the deck scrubbers." And then he walks over to the matron of the bar and hands her how much ever gold it seems reasonable for a drink for those guys.
Okay.
And then Clintock says, "Don't say I didn't give you anything."
She when she gets the money, she winks at you and she says, I knew you were a good boy. So so the rest of them come back in, you know, you can see they got water on them. They're all mumbling and groaning. They all put in a gold piece, and one of them steps up. He's all wiry and thin, spits in his hands. And I did already roll his strength. And that is not under it.
Wow. All right. Basil, now that he's warmed up, he also rolled over.
Okay. So yeah, it's kind of a struggle. I mean, that was pretty epic. And I rolled a nat 1.
Oof. I rolled a 4, which is pretty good, but not a nat 1.
Right. So he's got that first one then. Since you didn't roll over, which would have been bad. So yeah, they're in amazement. He is like pushing your hand all the way back down, and he rolls a 4.
Ooh.
Oh man, it's 16. That's over.
All right. Is it worth a hustle point?
Is Basil's pride worth a hustle point? Yes, it is.
That's an obvious answer.
It's a 13 that just makes it.
So he's pushing you. It's like the hairs on your arm are touching the bottom of the table, and he's just like, with all the strength that he has, you can see all the veins popping out of his neck, and he's just like, he rolls a 5.
Ooh.
Woo!
I want your dice. Yeah, that's a 14. That fails.
Ooh.
And you'll be shocked at this. He has failed as well, because his strength is 5. So he is like it's like he's got his other hand under the seat, and he's like pushing all his weight. He cannot seem to
wow.
His strength is 5, and
he fails that one.
Basil got a nat 1.
Okay, so you've turned it all the way around. Like,
yeah.
As you can see, this guy is getting winded. 15.
17. Yeah, it's a fail.
All right, I rolled a 9.
I also rolled a 9, but for me, that's a success.
All right, you can tell me how you beat this guy.
So yeah, it's a come from behind. You know,
Yes.
this was an underdog story in the making for this guy who remains nameless. And just as like the hair of his knuckles was great, like kind of touching the table, he faltered, and Basil took advantage of it, and he went all the way back, and just a swift decisive motion.
Yeah, and this dude like collapses, like all the energy. He kind of slumps over and falls on the floor, and they're like, Darvin, you're terrible. And they grab one guy, just kind of like grabs him by the leg and like picks him up, drags him out.
Basil's gonna try to stop this. And like this guy is, I'm kind of picturing him collapsed on the ground.
Yes, like it took everything out of him.
Yeah. So as they go to like throw him out, you know, Basil's like, wait, Darmond, that was a hell of a fight. If you keep training every day, one day you will be a great arm wrestler.
But for now, he's a sorry ass dock worker, and they step outside and hurl him into the water.
Basil's gonna kind of keep his eye on Darman as a potential new protege.
Okay.
Mr. Strength 5 is your potential new protege.
You gotta build them up.
Gotta build him up. You know, you never know where you might run into the Dolmenwood, where a Strength 5 could be helpful.
So Darvin is like flailing in the water there. He gets up onto the dock. He's like climbing up. The other guys are laughing. They're like, we need Bruco next. Bruco. They start chanting Bruco's name, and they're all scrambling around. They're just like getting their money together, because making sure they got enough. They're like, yeah, well, this is the one that's going to beat him. The pride of all us dock workers here at Fort Vulgar are at stake. Bruco.
Clintarch just says, well, if you're so sure, why don't you double your bets? And actually, even better, you guys do have a boat, no? You know anyone with a boat?
Oh, there's some folks that come with with barges.
How about passage onto a barge, wherever we want to go if we win. My man here wins.
Passage onto a barge. They like huddle up in a group. We'd get you a passage onto one of the barges that come in the morning. You headed back north?
The destination is unimportant at the moment.
Okay. They scrounge together like 15 gold pieces.
All right, 15 gold pieces in the barge ride wherever we want.
And then Bruco steps up. He's got big bushy beard and a lazy eye. He's just got some suspenders, no shirt, with a big tattoo of the big chook, the sea monster on there, and he snarls and grunts a lot. As soon as he goes to step up, the door to the chook's knob opens. A large woman with straggly hair that's coming from underneath like a purple skull cap, carrying a cudgel. And she's like, you look at her and she's like, what's all the ruckus going about?
Just a bunch of dock workers losing their day's wages.
Oh, I say.
You fancy yourself the arm wrestling type?
She walks over to you, and you see like she's missing a bunch of teeth. She says, "Well, yeah, I could."
Why don't you show these boys how to really arm wrestle?
So that's what's going on, huh?
Yeah.
Bruco, get your skinny ass out of that chair. He just kind of walks over and he gets up and like moves. So who do I have the pleasure of arm wrestling?
Basil's the name. Arm wrestling is my game. What is your name?
I'm Doc Master Wiglow.
Doc Master Wiglow.
Yeah.
That's a fetching name.
It is. So what's the wager, my good man? What's the wager for?
I mean, they said you didn't pay them very much, so they could only put in 15 gold. And then they promised that they could convince you to give us a barge ride to wherever we wanted to go.
Well, I don't pay them very much because they ain't worth very much.
Well, that's what they've surely shown this evening.
I can see. Barge ride it is. Well, I'll get you your barge ride. Now, if you lose, you ain't you don't work for no Captain Snarkscorn, do you?
Snarkscorn? Never heard of them, Corn.
Good. Then you might be able to help me out and take care of him for me. He's a problem. He's a thorn in my side, pain in the ass.
I don't mind a little night work, if I don't say so myself. You got yourself a deal.
All right.
Oh boy.
Cracks her knuckles and sets her cudgel onto the ground. Well, no, she take it off the table. She sets it onto the ground. You can see that the top of it, of her cudgel, is carved a wooden fist. It's all right, Mr. Basil. Shall we begin?
Before this starts, I
Okay.
want to try and see if I can find the table leg that developed a crack in it from dude falling down and get in place to be relatively close to it.
Okay. Yeah, you can do that. You'll look and notice that there's one that has a sizable crack in it. All right. Her first roll is an 8.
Ooh.
Basil's is a 9, which is a
All right.
success.
So yeah, she's like, oh, okay. You must work out.
I train every day of my life.
Whoa.
That one.
Yeah, that he failed that roll.
Okay, so that's a 2. So that's 2. So it's 2-0. So she just like, oh, really? And she just kind of, are you okay? She says, you feeling all right?
What, did he lose that?
Yeah,
Was
she
it
rolled a
an
1.
Yeah, it was an instant loss.
Yeah, well, you rolled over, right? Yeah, so no, I have to win one more. No, it's 2 out of 3. So yeah, we'll just say one more. So she's like bending your arm back, and are you left-handed or right-handed? Is he right-handed?
He's right-handed.
Are you sure you're not left-handed?
No, that's my brother.
Oh.
And that's a success. I got a 6.
Okay, so she kind of lets up, and she's just watching everybody. She's kind of looking at, and as when she looks over at the dock workers, they just kind of take a step back. Like she might grab that cudgel and just bop them in the head. 17.
3.
So yeah, you're gaining on her.
Yeah. Starting to come back.
She's like, how bad do you want that dock ride? Huh? Well, that didn't sound right.
That's a 9.
All right. So she's like pulling back and she's starting to sweat.
Yeah. Really making her work for it.
18.
And that's an 8, which is another success.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you can beat her if you want. So I'll leave it up to you.
Before you make this decision, I just like I was like, so I've heard this thing about sea legs or sea arms when you get weak because you've been out in the ocean too long. Water, I guess.
Ooh, yeah, just annoying a local dock worker.
I mean, I think Basil would he would push to win.
Okay. So
he
yeah,
he has no reason to throw the game. Also, that's really not his style.
right.
So yeah, he brings down her hand, and unlike the others, which it was very forceful. He like gently places
Oh, you gently lay her down on the table.
and
Just
just
resist.
kind of holds it there, with her back of her hand against the table, and he's like, "That was a close match."
So when you let go, she puts her arm back up there and she's like, What was that? What was that gentle shit for? Slam my hand against the table like a real man.
Okay, and then he just slams it.
And that breaks the table. And it crashes and she's like, you can have a job anytime you want.
Well, thanks, and I suppose we get a barge ride anytime we want.
There'll be 1 a.m. for you if you need it.
1 a.m? Oh, not 1 a.m.
There will be
morning.
1 in the morning, not 1 a.m.
Okay. Yeah, that was looking ugly there for a minute.
And she looks at all of you and she says, and don't be going out hunting honey badgers. She walks off, grabs her cudgel, and they kind of like back away. And she says, you've embarrassed me enough. Get out here, get to work. And they all kind of exit the inn.
Clintock goes and like gives Basil a big pat on the back. He says, good job, champ.
Thanks. Man, she was strong.
Ha. I thought she almost had you there for a minute.
That guy with a strength score of 5 was also strong. His arms didn't look it, but I don't know, maybe he had spirit or something. I like him.
Of course you do.
So where's the barge ride taking us?
I don't know. I just figured it was better than walking.
I could use the time to do training. It's harder to train when you're traveling over land.
Yeah, I mean, you don't really need leg day if you're just arm wrestling.
Well, it's important to keep a healthy balance, but
I know that,
4 out of 5 days towards the arms is a pretty good compromise.
I know that Karn's going to insist on a stop at Crookhorns.
I'm sure it can be arranged.
I think he would jump off the ship if he didn't.
Wants his armor back, does he? Or wants more armor?
Wants some armor. He'll take leather armor at this point. He's a paladin. He wants his mail, but he knows
Right.
exactly what the armor does for him. Like, that's part of being a paladin, isn't it?
Yeah. You're right. You're right. It's almost the look. It's almost the required look. If you aren't heavily armored, why are you a paladin?
His faith, his sword, his armor, and his horse. And for Karn, his dog.
Oh.
So the total gold piece take would be 35 gold minus whatever you gave the proprietor.
I probably would have given her like 5 gold. I figured
Okay.
that was more than enough to cover the drinks.
Yeah, so you got about 30 gold from them.
Okay.
And Basil's like, I want my gold back.
Here's your gold back, Basil. He gives Basil 5. He gives all but 5 more to the other Basil.
Okay. And you can hear her yelling at them out there on the docks. And then occasionally you hear a splash of something.
Basil looks at the 5 gold.
No, you get all but 5 gold. So you
Oh,
get 25 gold, I think is the right amount.
okay.
Wow.
Thanks, Clintock. Or should I say manager?
Anytime you need a corner man, just let me know.
Oh, wow.
You know, one of these days, well, I hope Ethics is continuing his training. But one day the band will be back together and we can both go on a we can all go on a road show.
You really would work better as a team.
Yeah. He got distracted with hot mamas. It's the death of a lot of sports careers, I suppose.
Let's see. Russell, give me a D6 roll.
4. You discover after the arm wrestling competition that John Tor is basically passed out on a table. You know, he's full of booze. He's gotten a full stomach with a good meal for the first time in now days, weeks, however long we've been going. He just like crashed. So Orion is going to pry him off the table and get him to, the room.
I mean, Basil Wilberforce was trying to get him throwing up drunk, so
Yeah, well, like I said, it's just finally after I don't know, days, weeks with this company, he's well fed and he's been trying to conserve his wine, but he got he's now full of turnip ale. So he sort of, collapsed. That's okay. Orion will make sure he gets to bed safely.
Oh, isn't that kind to him?
Well, if you haven't figured it out, Orion sort of sees the guy as a good foil,
Yeah.
Usefully stupid.
Basil's just gonna he'll look at these like, do you need hope? He is John Tor a big character, like heavy?
I've never imagined John Tor was.
Yeah, because he's an elf, so he's naturally a little lighter build. Appearance is young and misty, so I would say naturally a sort of lighter build guy. Orion is wiry, so he's on the light side.
So yeah, Basil, despite being tired from the day's events so far, he sees you trying to lift him. It's like, oh, Ryan, do you need help getting him to his room?
Oh, sure, you get the other arm.
I'll follow them up the stairs or to the room, whatever. Basil will.
So yeah, I imagine we deposit him into one of the beds. I don't remember, did we do this the whole handling of getting the rooms and stuff? Like, do we have rooms or did we still have to secure those?
No, you got rooms as soon as you got here.
Okay.
We made a deal with her for the octopus
For the
change for the room.
That's right. So yeah, I imagine we deposit John Tor on one of the beds, maybe tuck him in, leave a bowl next to the bed or like a mug.
A bucket.
Yeah, a bucket.
Okay. Orion, let's see. Did they basically, the dockmaster basically cleared out the crowd, didn't she?
Yeah, well, most of the people in here were dock workers, so.
Oh, she cleared out the crowd. So I can't even have the excuse of having a crowd to play to. Oh, whatever. It's been a while since he had decent sleep. It was like, no decent crowd, no decent women. I sure as hell ain't dreaming about Dogmaster, what was her name? Wigglow. Ryan's gonna sack out early.
Felix will be eating as many portions of the weird squid tentacle monster as he can. And once he feels like he's gonna vomit, he will go to bed.
Okay.
After they get them all to bed, Basil Wilberforce will try to find that dockmaster.
Yeah, as you guys are trying to sleep, it's like 10 or 11 at night, and they are still out there, like scrubbing the decks, like cleaning stuff up, and she is just like yelling. It almost looks like it sounds incoherent, whatever she's yelling at them. Something about losing your money and, not smart enough to keep it, and if you're going to be stupid, and, a lot of negative reinforcement.
So it's easy to find her?
Oh, yeah. She's like right outside. You can hear her she's right outside the inn.
So he finds her and he says, I hear there's somebody you are looking to take care of?
Kind of looks at you and notices your signet ring that you're wearing.
Yeah.
Says, you are part of House Hogwash then?
Maybe. What's it matter?
Well, they usually don't get involved in these type of things. They're more interested in carousing and debauchery.
Oh, I like that too. You just call me the black sheep of the family.
Yes, yes. This Captain Snarkscorn is a problem and his cronies. Problem of mine.
What kind of problem is he?
Captain Gibbs Snarkscorn. Well, he relentlessly hunts the honey badgers. They'll be on the verge of extinction if he continues his ways.
We can't have the extinction of the honey badgers. What can we do to take care of them? How can we stop them?
Well,
Like, take care of them?
that would be, I wouldn't mind that.
Or, set them up to go to jail, take care of them? Or scare them off, take care of them?
Oh, no.
Because, I've got a friend who's a real animal lover, and he's kind of scary to some people. If nothing else, he can talk their ear off. What are you looking for?
Well, I'm looking for him to stop his ways, which as you would have to realize you would have to end his life.
And what would that be worth to you?
It would be worth a lot to say to me and to this whole region. I hear that he serves the Nag Lord.
I hear the Naglord's not a very friendly guy.
No, he is not.
Where's this guy where can he be found? Is he here?
No, you'd have to go to the north.
Oh, we're up north. Doesn't sound like he's going to pick up a side quest.
Well, she says if you take your barge ride to the north, you should come across his encampment somewhere along there. It won't take you very long.
Oh, I got a feeling my companions won't like that. I'll have to talk to them and see. I wish I could have helped you, though. I always do like to make a bit of money.
I'm sure if you bring back his head, I'm sure somebody will pay handsomely for it.
Oh, but not you?
No, not me. I don't have that kind of money.
Oh, well, then you guys have yourself a wonderful night now. Toodles.
Splash. She kicks one of them back into the water.
No pay, no play. Lovely.
Money talks, bullshit walks. He heads back inside. Very disappointed. Yeah, that's how.
Yeah, she talked about capturing, but she really wants him dead. She doesn't think that, it's not going to matter. So as you pass out in the middle of the night, fall asleep at some point in the middle of the night, you hear somebody come to Chook's Knob, like the door. You hear a horse, actually, and the door he bangs on the door, and you can hear the proprietor open the door, and you hear they're talking downstairs. It's like 2 a.m.
Okay.
So you say you hear. Which of us actually hears?
It'll be up to you. If you think your character would, if you've had a lot to drink, then you're probably passed out and you probably wouldn't wake up. But probably Karn, who knows? If you're a light sleeper, you can decide if your character wakes up.
I imagine Felix is awake because I can't imagine that amount of tentacle probably sat well with him.
It's been a while.
Yeah. I've had a nickel for every time
Cynical doesn't fit too well. Oh, wow.
I think Basil Bessex would be pretty tired, so
Yep.
he might hear it, but then roll over.
All right.
But Zofan would wake up.
I imagine Karn would probably hear something like that.
Yeah. Well, I've already said Jontor's completely out of it, and honestly, I don't have a good feeling for Orion. So let's see, what would that be? Wisdom, maybe? Is that the equivalent of perception in this system too? Or what the hell? I'll roll under wisdom, and if it's under, it's under. He's awake. Yeah, a 1 means he is fucking wide awake as soon as anything happens. Like danger, what? Okay. So we know who's awake, who's asleep.
Okay, yeah, so that's what you hear. It sounds like a horse, and then the door open, and you can hear somebody talking downstairs because your rooms are up top. And, it's not like it's soundproof. You can, having a discussion.
Okay.
Felix will trundle down the stairs, not in plate, but with his sword lashed to his side just in case he has to do something.
Okay. And standing, you see in like the light of a lantern, you see the proprietor there, the short-horned goat folk, is pouring a drink. It looks like water, and there's a human man in full plate. And he's taking his helmet off, and he's just sitting there taking a drink, and he sees you, and he's like, "Sir, I'm sorry to disturb your sleep. I see that nothing to be afraid of here. There's no need to worry, at least at this moment. Are you good with the blade? Fancy yourself. You look like you've seen a scrap or two as you get closer into the light."
Yeah, more than my fair share. But what of it?
The Crookhorns are amassing at the ruined abbey. To the east, I'm going to warn Lady Harrowmoor.
Crookhorns.
Yes.
Lady Harrowmoor. What of them?
Well,
Why should I care?
because the Crookhorns are a scourge to the Dolmenwood. If you're looking for a fight, I can surely lead you to one.
I haven't wet my blade for a day. Lead the way. I might be able to rouse some more men.
That would be excellent. We can use all the force we can bring.
What kind of scourge is it?
Oh, I didn't see you standing there. Yes, sir. Oh, Crookhorns, servants of the Nag Lord.
Ryan goes, forgive us, we're not familiar with the local nomenclature. Is a crookhorn a animal or a person?
They're corrupted goat folk.
Corrupted goat folk. Okay.
And the proprietor's like, not our finest hour.
Felix just says, huh, goat meat.
I see, your sense of humor, friend, yes, but I don't think, you can see he's very uncomfortable with the whole line of conversation.
What do you mean by not your finest hour?
The proprietor looks at you and says, "It looks, some of my kin aligned with or let's say were corrupted by the Nag Lord."
Well,
Oh, the bartender says that because the
Yes.
guy is a human. So he's,
Right, yeah,
he's not-
yes, he is, yeah, he's a human. He looks to be like late 30s.
Right.
Karn's trying to recognize him. Is he militant orders, or is he a knight or a fighter?
He's definitely gives you the knight. He introduces, oh, my apologies. I am Sir Rikkan, a knight of Lady Harrowmoor.
Sir Rikkan. So 'tis an evil that you fight.
Yes, of course it is. An evil that scourges the Dolmenwood, friend.
is Sir Rikkan aligned with Lord Three Moons Waxing by chance?
I don't know. I've never heard of such a lord. It sounds like a fairy lord.
Yes, that he is.
What is your opinion on fairies?
As long as they fight on the right side, as long as they don't support the Nag Lord.
Yes.
I'm always good for a blade against evil. I'm not as well equipped as normal for battle, though.
That's right. Still. Oh, wow. Yes, well.
I have a fine sword. Perhaps if you could loan a shield or such.
Sorry, friend. I do not have extra equipment. I did not bring with me. Perhaps I will send word. Maybe Lady Harrowmoor can provide you with such items if you are able to help me.
What say you, friends? Do we have time to help fight evil?
Where are these crookhorns?
To the east. It will take us about a day to get there.
So is this the same abbey that our friend the friar is supposed to be burying people at?
No.
But if we're riding a barge, it looks like the ruined abbey is on our way.
Side quest. Oh, sorry. Don't say that. Obviously, that's out of character.
I'm fine to help with these crookhorns, as long as it doesn't distract us too much from cleansing ourselves of this hag stench.
Orion will point out that we don't have any local allies, and this looks like at least one way to get some, even though it will piss off the Maglord, but will help other people. So it's a possible way of getting local allies. And he's like, yeah, and the kid, referring to John Tor, will basically follow the rest of us anyway. Well, I've never seen anybody with no ambition in life like that.
I am sworn to fight evil across the world, wherever I fight.
So does Karn have any armor at all?
None. Zero. Zip. Nada.
Okay. So Orion says that maybe if we can scrounge up some other armor, we can get the kid to swap you for his plate, at least temporarily. Loan you his plate. Dontor's walking around with plate and shield, but he doesn't like to get on the front lines anyway.
I mean, yeah, at this point, the Karn's like, he'll put on leather armor or just grab a shield. I mean, this dude might actually have, a spare shield on the back of his horse or something.
Yeah. So Orion's pretty sure he can convince the kid to stay in the back lines and loan his plate to Karn.
To the meat shield? He isn't going to argue with that, but he doesn't want to take somebody else's armor from him.
Well, it's a loan, not an outright gift, because John Tor wants his, shield between me and the enemy's back. Since I'm playing the character, I'm just going to make the decision.
Well, how long before he expects to see this scourge at the ruined Abbey? Or are they already there?
Oh, how long? What? He's not sure. He says he knows that they're headed to the Abbey. He doesn't know. He's trying to warn. He was trying to warn Lady Harrowmoor.
Have you already warned this Lady Harrowmoor yet?
I have not reached her yet. I just stopped by Fort Fulgur to see if, just to let a few of the locals know what was happening, since they are not far from the ruins. It is but a day from here. It is best for them to know what is going on.
So is your intention to make it to Harrowmoor?
Yes, of course. I eventually want to head there, but as he's looking around at the group of you, I may send someone ahead to warn her. Maybe there's some trustworthy dock workers I could send forward.
Well, what about us? We have to go that way.
Right. Yes, but I may need you at the as he looks at like Felix and Karn. I may need strong fighters. This may be a chance to stop them before they can establish themselves at the ruins.
Understood. So first to the ruins and then
to Harrowmoor Keep, which basically you got to go through Prigwort and then go north.
Yeah. Well, it looks like both of them are accessible by water.
It's far, if you mean by water, like going out onto Lake Longmere and going down, they are going to say that's a bad idea because of Big Chook, because the waters are cursed. Nobody goes out onto the water.
Where were they willing to give us a barge ride to then?
They just said a barge ride. They would say north because the barges come from the north down south to drop off goods and vice versa. So they were like, sure.
Oh, so they don't travel Lake Longmere.
No, I mean, this knight would say that's a bad idea, and the friar would say that's a bad idea. I mean, you could always keep that in your pocket or trade it to somebody, because I'm sure somebody would want a barge ride.
Could be a handy escape route if we needed it.
So the ruined Abbey is roughly a day away?
Yeah, he said that, he is going. He obviously, you guys need to get everything together, but he's willing to. He's been riding most of the day, and he's going to do a quick rest here, and then in the morning, head out.
He's heading back to the ruined Abbey.
Well, he's got to go by there and then to Harrowmoor Keep, but his plan was to go by the keep and to see what, try to scout and see what was going on. I mean, the Abbey. and then warn Lady Harrowmoor. But since he may have a group of you, it might, not only could he scout it, he may be able to fend off whatever's supposed to be coming and potentially send somebody ahead to warn her.
So let's impress a few of these dock workers into service against evil and head to the ruined abbey in the morning. There's some that fancy themselves strong.
I don't know what kind of fighters they will be.
Or we could do it different. We could trade our, dock ride favor to be a warn the lady favor, because that would take a dock ride anyway. And that might work. Just a suggestion.
Okay.
Sounds like we've agreed we're going to go to the ruined abbey.
This is fine with me.
What time of night is this? You said it was early in the morning.
It's like 2:00 in the morning.
I can sleep at least another 2 hours.
Not that anyone noticed, but Clintock is dead asleep upstairs.
Yeah, he's not good enough for this shit. Okay, yeah, so she's going to give you guys, he's going to let you guys get your stuff together, decide what you're going to do. Tamul is with you. He would, of course, offer to send to bring the message to this keep if you can't find. The dock workers, I don't know how reliable they are going to be, and
Oh, were you talking about the cannon fodder?
yeah, and whether the dock master will actually let them go, unless you want to renegotiate what your terms are. Maybe, she might say, well, okay, you can have a couple.
The cannon fodder. I'm sure they would love to know that. That's their designation.
That was totally out of character.
But you're right about
Yeah.
their usefulness.
Yeah, and this is sort of technically, this is kind of her domain. Fort Vulgar really isn't in it, but once you head east, then you become the domain of Lady Harrowmoor. So yeah, Sir Rikkan is going to head out. Tamul, I'm assuming the rest of you guys will go if you want to renegotiate with the proprietor of with the dock master. If you want to, try to get some. The friar is going to go with you.
Okay.
Since it's in the direction he's headed, and it's the ruined abbey, obviously, is something that he would take interest in, making sure it's not overrun.
Karn will try to convince the dock mistress or whatever to let some of her men go with her.
Okay.
I hear it's you who has some extra hands and owes a barge ride. Perhaps you could see your way out of that loss to the sins of iniquity of gambling and do a turn for good. Enable us to take a few of your men to the ruined abbey and fight, carry messages to Lady Harrowmoor to fight evil and do good.
Okay, so this is Karn asking her, right?
Yeah.
So is this something you're doing immediately at 2 a.m. or at 5 a.m. when Karn gets up?
If she's around, he'll try it at 2 a.m.
Okay.
Catch her drunk.
Yeah. All right. Give me a dex roll.
A dex roll?
Yes.
Karn's dex is a 13. Not 20.
Okay. So Karn heads out to talk to the dock master, and you hear her mumbling and grumbling. She is out and about still. And you hear Karn's speech, and then all you hear is splash as you have been pushed into the water. And let's take a break right there.
Amazing.
You have been pushed into the water. Yeah, that was coming.
Glad you saw it coming.
It was a running joke there for a bit, so.
Karn didn't see it coming. No, I'll be back.
That didn't go as planned.
What do you mean? You weren't trying to suck us into a side quest?
No, as far as Karn trying to recruit some of the dock workers.
Okay. Yeah, I sort of suspected, which is why Orion wasn't volunteering to help with that shit. It's like, yeah, no. I hope Karn remembered how to swim. I mean, he's been on a boat for how long? Well, on and off a boat for how long? So
Basil's the one with the hard time swimming.
Oh, I gotcha.
All you had to do was say no.
She looks at you in the water under the moonlight. She's like, sometimes you religious types just don't seem to get the point.
He pulls
Ooh.
himself back up on the dock and says, "What point is that?
And she helps you up. She says, I don't need all that preaching.
I didn't preach at you. I said, here is your chance to do a good turn for your community."
I
It
am.
is.
Do you think anybody else would hire any of those other reprobates? No.
I just offered to.
Are you saying this while you're treading water, or have you climbed
No.
out of the water?
Yeah, he's
He
climbed
climbed
out.
out.
Okay.
Yeah, she helped you.
Mhm.
She's not there to drown you. She's just trying to wake you up to certain facts.
She's like, oh, I gotta get a bit of wink before I get up in the morning. They got that feast of Saint, whatever that saint is.
St. Pius.
Yeah, that Saint Pius feast tomorrow. Make
course,
sure I get the
Saint
work
Pius
out of
is
them
a-
before they take their little breaks.
St. Pius is an exalted saint, second only to the likes of Cuthbert.
At that point, she has turned and begins to walk away to her little hut where she rests.
The unwashed and the unrepentant. And he turns around and walks back.
All right. So, yeah, it'll be about a day to get there if you leave in the morning. Don't forget the negatives that different players have.
Oh yeah,
To-
that was one thing I wanted to ask. Is Felix down hit points? I have my notes that you took wounds in the last fight.
Mm-hmm. I got hit once.
Okay. Druid second level spells have some good shit, but of course the only one that really matters for anybody in this damn party is the healing spell. 1d6 plus 1. 3 plus 1 is 4.
All right. That should get me back up with my normal healing because it's a D4.
Is Karn still a -3 or did he drop one?
Let's see.
I thought I remembered him dropping one, but I could be, because all I wrote down was Karn -3. And now that I think about it, Basil's probably really interested in what she knows about his signet ring. He might need to go back to her before they leave.
Where did you pick up that signet ring?
It was like random treasure, I believe. Like
Yeah. Recently, random treasure.
Oh, that was the stuff out of the tentacle chest. Tentacle monster chest, not the tentacle chest.
Yeah.
I think Karn is full health.
Okay.
The only people that should be negatives are Zofan,
Um,
Basil Besix, and Clintock.
Yeah.
And as
Karn failed one early on and then recovered. That's right.
right, as promised, Orion is going to talk Jontor into loaning Karn his armor with many promises that Orion will, be on the back line and never get anywhere near the upcoming combat, et cetera, et cetera.
Karn backs that up. He says, "You can take my word by St. Cuthbert. I will do all I can to keep you alive."
Funny that. Jontor trusts Karn a little more than he does Orion. That's funny. That's strange, Yeah, man. If you need it, it's yours. I mean, not forever yours, but yours for now. I mean, I know you need that stuff to stay alive on the battlefield. So yeah.
Another tool in the fight for good.
Oh, yep. You've got plate and shield.
You notice his back straightens up a little bit more inside the armor, and he's just walks a little bit taller.
What's a paladin without his heavy armor? The answer is probably dead.
Because he's got to go into that fight anyway,
Yeah.
and he knows it. Like he knows what his strengths are. He's not the brightest bulb in the bunch, but he knows his strength lies in his armor, his shield, and his sword, and his tactics.
What? Rushing ahead is a tactic? He's been at the forefront of the fight every time.
Yes, but if he can, he tries to make preparations.
Right. Now you got armor.
Much appreciated.
And Jontor is going to be, since he's not going to be hiding behind Karn, because there's no way he wants to get close to the front line, he's going to be hiding behind Orion, who's the one who talked him into giving up his armor.
So I'm going to hand wave the travel through the various hexes because you guys aren't going to stop and explore the hex and do anything. And it's not really It's basically a road, and you're looking at Lake Longmere, and you get views of it, and there's some, trees and
Felix will be looking for big chook
big
anytime.
chook, yeah, out there. Yeah, okay. Yeah, there are no boats, nothing out there.
That's true. Giant squid sighting would be an exciting part of the day.
So Sir Rikkan says that the Crookhorns, are awful, vile creatures, and that you must, do your best to avoid being either bitten or stabbed with their horns, because they have disease and maladies that they carry with them.
Felix asks, is there anything they're afraid of or that they don't like besides steel?
No, they are unafraid of anything. They are vicious creatures.
Before we head out, Basil will go down to the trading areas or wherever that is. It looked like there was some stuff around Fort Balder and one that looks like it'd be like a trading area or something. I don't know.
Yeah, there's like a little trader market. You cross the bridge, and there's like a little area where they trade stuff.
Well, I mean, they're going to look for him and Karn are definitely going. I don't know if anybody else wants to go, but they're looking for bedrolls, winter jacket, or not bedrolls, but blankets to take the place of a winter jacket if they ever run across that kind of cold again, and rations.
That's a good point. I think,
Because we got separated from our camping equipment, maybe a tent.
yeah, I think that's a good point about rations. We probably want to restock.
Yeah, whatever the standard ration cost is, you can find people who are selling stuff like that. Like at a bedroll, if you're looking to get a bedroll or a tent, whatever the standard cost of those things. I don't have it right in front of me, but I can find it.
Yeah, not like a big, huge tent, but
Yeah, that's kind of stuff they would have to sell. I don't have to roll for that.
because they got caught with their proverbial pants down in the middle of the snow, because all their camping supplies are a continent away.
Bedroll is 2 gold pieces. A tent
Okay.
is 20. Standard rations are 5 gold pieces for 7 days, or iron 15 gold. I don't think you'd be able to find iron rations here. It'd be standard 5 gold pieces.
Okay, so time to start adding shit up. Since Orion's going to be buying for Mr. Who doesn't have any money. 2 backpacks. Okay, bedroll 10. I'm also getting, let's see, foreskin sacks. One of the very first things Orion bought was the chest bandolier full of oil. So he's walking around with his oil flask.
Basil and Zofan would get, a week's worth of rations. Unfortunately, Zofan has his 10-foot pole already, but he might pick up a mirror and some steaks because he's not really sure what to expect at the Dolmen Wood.
You never know how easily you'll run out of protein, so steaks are important.
Yeah.
Well, steaks and a mallet.
Yeah, I mean, steaks can be pretty tough if you get the wrong cut. So
Yeah.
Yep.
That's what the mallet's for. It's a steak tenderizer.
So yeah.
Actually, the point, since we know we're going into a fight and Gontor is going to be standing the fuck off from it, there we go. Arrows. Another set of arrows.
Are things like potions and small amounts of coin considered encumbrance?
Forget what the number. I think it's like 100 gold pieces counts as 1 slot.
yeah,
And I think a potion is a slot. I'm not sure off the top of my head, I think.
Oh, so they do count as a slot.
I definitively know 100 gold counts as 1
Okay.
slot.
So Basil is technically overburdened. He's going to leave something behind.
Well, Tamul can carry something. Absolutely. And Tamul would be, as a look at his, pretty sure he is not. Yeah, because he doesn't have armor. Yeah, he could carry a couple things.
I bought some more rations, but that's it. I don't need anything else.
I forgot we basically lost everything because most of our stuff was on the damn yak. Damn it.
Well, it's all Remy's now. We tried to get back and, well, this is what happens.
We're still trying to get back.
Yeah, we're still trying to get back. I mean, it's not like we've given up on that idea.
Yeah, we're just taking the long cut.
The really long cut.
I gave the primrose wine to Karn.
Okay. Told him it was flavored water or something.
Well, it's a healing wine, isn't it?
Okay, yeah, that's right. And I believe, let's see, let's check.
Now that some of our companions have caught up with us, we may want to pass out some more of that. Didn't we save that for others?
Yeah, but who's still injured? Ryan and John are up full. I just topped off Felix last night, so
Well, Karn
And
could
we-
top anybody off for healing, but also didn't it help with concussions and stuff?
Yeah.
oh no, that was the paste, the salve or whatever. I think we used it up. Hold
But
on.
the primrose wine, dude.
Yeah, the primrose does that as well.
I thought that's why we were saving it was for our friends, because I got 4 doses of that left.
So we can help. Who's down? Felix or
Glendock is down for one more day, so it's a waste for him, pretty much.
How about Zopan? Isn't he concussed or whatever?
He's in a perpetual state of concussion. I mean,
Well,
that
wait a sec. Zofan is what?
I have 4 days of -2.
Actually, Zofan, when you wake up, get up in the morning, you are now full health.
Is
okay?
he still is the cold modifier?
Oh, that's right. That's what that was.
Well, I had a concussion and a cold modifier. Or Zofan did. So like do we warm up, or is that just needed more time?
I think we were taking what, -1 off each day, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, that's where Karn ended up with his -3 or something.
That's what I thought.
So Karn would be at -2 then, because you wouldn't get it from this evening. Okay.
And then the next day, we're taking the travel. He's at -2.
Yeah, he'd be at -2. Basil Wilberforce, I have is started with -1 to everything from cold.
So he would be at full.
Yeah. So the only people, so Basil Bessick should be -2 unless he took any cold damage. More
I
than
have -2 for cold.
so you're at -3 because you would eliminate that evening. And I thought the primrose wine was poison or something.
Yeah, the primrose wine is just a healing potion plus poison. It's the salve that does the conditions. That's the only thing the salve does is get rid of conditions. But we basically use it up.
How many doses of the primrose wine do you have?
I show 4 on my slot tracker.
So if you want to take a dose of that, it would alleviate any kind of negative from cold. We'll just say that.
Nah, I won't worry about it. It's only -1.
Okay.
It doesn't do anything for their other negatives. I thought we saved it for advanced concussions.
Yeah, because the only person I have is Basil Bessick should be at -3, and Karn is at -2. Clintock's at -1, right?
Yeah.
That's the only ones. And you can alleviate any of those negatives that are from cold, which I believe Basil's got 1 from cold, and Karn's got 2, and Clintock's got 1. With the primrose wine, I will say that you can do that.
Yeah, but that's also our backup healing potion. So,
Right. So okay.
Damned if you do, damned if you don't. I mean, either we go into a fight at minuses, or we use up our healing a bit. So, like I said, damned if you do, damned if you don't. I don't care a huge amount one way or the other.
Okay. So you guys trek, get your gear in the morning as the vendors are there early and are happy to sell you stuff. And you begin to make your way with Sir Rikkan and the friar. You head east on Fort Road, and then it becomes Sweeney Road, and you come up to, basically it's near the end of the day, but the sun is beginning to set, and you find a sign that's been all kind of damaged, and a wooden sign that points to the Abbey of St. Clewyd. And it's like a cobblestone street that's been overgrown with a bunch of, vines and things like that. And you can see that there are statues that have all been defaced and damaged, leading up to like a gate. And Sir Rikkan says, we best be on guard. They may be around.
So Basil Bessix is going to slip his fingers into his iron knuckles, and Zofan is going to get Chihai ready.
Arn's got a sword out. Basil Wilberforce has got bow and arrow out.
Clint
Yeah.
ducks into the shadows.
So John Torres bow and arrow, and Orion has his, idly swinging around the sling style, looks like. And Orion has prepped, since we are out in the great outdoors and about the only first level druid spell that is worth anything, Orion has prepped lots of entangles. Boy, has that entangle saved our asses more than once.
So
Sir.
Rikkan gets off his horse, and Tamul looks kind of visibly sickened. He says, there is some kind of malevolence here that makes me feel very uneasy.
So he can feel it.
Yes.
And he gives a sense of direction. So that we would know.
It is everywhere.
Mhm.
Rikkan takes his short sword and shield, and Tamul waits back with the horse, and he begins to walk up the cobblestone road to the gate.
Karn goes with him.
Yeah, Felix will follow directly behind, sword out, ready to do battle.
Basil
Okay.
hides in a tree.
And as he does, so you do that, and a gust of wind blows through the trees, and it shakes the leaves, and it sounds like someone sighing. He comes up to like a rusty gate, and Rikkan opens the gate, and it squeaks open, and he begins to cautiously walk onto the grounds of the Abbey. Ahead of you, you can see like a retaining wall that's all kind of fallen down, and there is a chapel it's mostly intact, and a bell tower. And looking around, you can see that there's a graveyard. But as you look over to the graveyard, a lot of the stones and things are either been knocked over or turned over, and there are piles of earth near them. And as Rikkan gets he starts to enter the court area where the stone wall is. He looks over at the Abbey, and standing in the doorway, Karn, you're right there, right?
Mm-hmm.
Looks like a small child, probably a blonde-headed kid, probably about 5 years old, peeks his head out of the Abbey, sees you, and ducks back into the chapel. And so Rikkan just kind of looks back at you like, did you see that?
Child, fear not. We are here to help you.
Orion loudly proclaims that, be on your guard. One of the favorite tricks of evil is to appear innocent.
All right, so Sir Rikkan and Karn are there. Who's with them? Orion?
Felix is also there.
Felix, right, okay.
Orion and John Tor are hanging back a bit, both to keep an eye out for things coming in from behind, and because they are sort of relegating themselves to ranged weapon support.
Yeah, and you hear the horse coming up the avenue behind you on the cobblestones as Tamul is leading it up there, and the friar is walking with him, kind of like leading the back. What about Basil and Zofan?
Basil will accompany up, but Zolfan's going to hang back with Orion. He's trying to avoid concussions.
As Karn, as you say that about the child, you look up at the top of the bell tower, perched is a flock of ravens, and they begin squawking.
'Tis an ill omen. Ravens hovering the field of battle, waiting the gibbets of meat they will eat.
Felix just says, "Not mine this day."
Any given day, it can be us.
Yep.
It's Cuthbert's will, not our own.
Not here to argue, fight with words, only with steel.
Come out.
His sword taps yours, and he's like, "Okay, I can go along with this."
Basil will say, "Come out, you Crookhorns. We have you outnumbered or outmatched."
Basil, Orion just face palms because Orion knows narrative conventions, and Basil just tromped all over one of the biggest narrative conventions. It's like, you idiot. But he doesn't say that out loud. He just face palms and rolls his eyes.
So everybody give me a wisdom roll.
That is not going to be John Torres. Orion has.
It's an 8 under 13.
Basil missed that.
Basil gets an 18 over 11.
All right. John Tor rolled exactly his wisdom, but Orion rolled a 1.
So Orion, so you guys are spotted. Well, you didn't spot the child, but you realize there's the chapel, and then there's a big bell tower, and there's a graveyard that has been disturbed, and you hear like a noise, and you look over and you see a kid. He looks like 8 or 9 years old, like pops his head out of one of the graves and like looks around. And Orion, you notice that behind him, in where all the piles of dirt and broken statues and things, you see a large 7-foot tall crookhorn kind of making his way, like almost like out of the, as it's getting dark, like out of the shadows, like he's about to grab this kid.
Well, in that case, let's get this party started. Enemy! Point and, start winding up a sling.
I'll give you guys each a surprise round to go, because so if you want to roll, give me an attack roll.
Wow, Orion is hot ass at the moment. Nat 20 to hit.
Nice. So it's the weapon, max weapon damage plus a roll.
Okay, which is 4 plus 1 for 5 damage.
Okay, give me a D100 roll.
Okay, 45.
Okay. It is an epic shot. It hits this dude boom, right off his head, right in the forehead. So what, 5 damage?
Yep. Sling just isn't much for damage, but whatever.
No, that's still. All right, that's Orion's attack.
John Tor rolled a total of a 14. Does that hit?
Yeah, you going after the same guy?
Yeah.
Okay.
The only visible one.
Yep. Okay.
5 damage. Exactly the same without the critical. Arrows are better than sling stones. Oh well.
Who's next?
How far are they from the group at the gate, from Karn and company?
I would say you could charge him and get an attack in. Run full speed.
He has a 19 minus 2 plus 1, so 18
Okay.
with
That's
his
it.
sword.
Yeah.
Hemadiah sword. I don't know which
Alright.
state rolls by. 5 points of damage again,
Okay. Tell me how he dies.
with his head flying up in the air, falling down at the feet of the little boy. He immediately kicks the head away and says, "Don't worry, child. I won't let it hurt you."
The kid looks shocked as the body collapses to the ground and the head just rolls down into the grave, and the kid's like standing there on a pile of dirt, and he looks up at you and he's like, no, you can't touch me. And he gets up and he starts to run.
I grab him by the back of his shirt.
You will attempt to try to grab him.
I will attempt to try to grab him. I say, "Don't worry, child. We're not here to hurt you."
Felix, Flintock, this is what you see. You see Karn kill this crookhorn. Now that you see its body, it looks like 7 feet tall, wearing some kind of patchy patchwork spiked armor.
Got it.
Also, Karn, that thing reeks. It is a foul stench.
Can Felix make it to like the side, like one of the sides of the building that we hadn't seen around from where he's
Yeah,
at?
you can like make your way around where the bell tower is.
Okay. He's gonna try and do that to see if there are any more over out of sight.
Okay. So you move, like, you start to move around, and like I said, there's like a retaining wall, but it's all fallen down. So you're kind of walking past it, and the bell tower's to your right. When you step around the corner, in the shadow and the trees and everything, you see 5 sets of eyes look at you.
All right. How close are they to me?
You could charge one and attack it if you wish.
Yeah, so I'm gonna charge since I just went over the retaining wall.
Yeah.
He is gonna try and do a tumble and come up slicing with the blade. He's trying to be showy. Does a 16 hit?
Yeah.
Actually, do you want me to make a dex check on that?
Yeah,
Does-
make a dex check first. Keep that 16 for
All
your
right.
attack. That's fine.
Nice. Still under. Not by much, but enough. 11 under 13.
Okay. I mean, what kind of armor do you wear?
Plate?
Okay, so it looks really weird. Kind
Yeah.
of awkward. But yeah, it's a tumble. And then you kind of stagger and get up, and then yeah, you hit this guy.
Nice.
Mostly confused at like how you were able to
What?
to tumble.
For a total of 8.
All right, tell me how he dies.
As I said, I was coming up with an upward swing,
Yep.
and it just catches him on the inside of his satyr's thigh. Just lets out his femoral artery.
Yeah. And there's foul stench wafts over you.
Oh, I was also using my silver
Right.
blade, if
Okay.
that matters.
Clintock, and then we got the Basils and the
Clintock is gonna try and make a move silently check
okay, yep.
to follow behind in the direction that Felix was moving
Okay.
for 29, which I believe is
Yeah, I think that should be a pass.
yes, it is. So
Okay.
if I can see anything that's round, I'm gonna try and make
Yeah, you can see the 4 sets of eyes now.
Okay. I'll try and sneak attack one of them, or back attack for 14.
Yeah, it's a hit.
Okay. Oh, sorry, with my plus, that is way more. I mean, it's 18 with my plus.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
All right. And it does 6 damage.
Tell me how he dies.
Oof. It just catches it in the throat and falls down onto the corpse of its other dead brethren.
Okay. Nice. Okay.
How many are left?
There are 3 on that side that are left. Not that anyone else would know, but
Well, you've seen, as far as Basil, Besix, and Zofan, and yeah, Basil, Besix, and Zofan, you've seen Felix go over there. It looks like you saw the metal. Looks like maybe he fell or something and then got up and
it looks really awkward.
Yeah.
Maybe he fell.
So Basil Wilbur, of course, has no idea there's a fight going on over there. Okay.
Basil's gonna run over there thinking that maybe Felix needs a helping hand up, and then as he turned the corner, he'd see the 2 slain Crookhorns and then 3 other ones, and he would just go run and charge.
All right.
Oh, yeah, well, he definitely missed that one. Yeah, so he goes to swing and misses.
okay.
See, you got to remember that lesson of last night. You got to warm up first.
Yeah, this is the warm up.
All right. Basil Besix runs over there, attacks one. Okay, and you can see that there's a couple more. All right.
And then Zofan, there's this house that you're turning the corner around, or what is the
Yeah, like
structure?
so Zofan, so think of there's a chapel in front of you, and then to your left-hand side is a bell tower, and that's where they've run off to. There's a retaining wall that goes kind of in the front, but it's all fallen down. And then to
Yeah.
the right-hand side, sort of at an angle, is a graveyard. That's where Karn is. And you can see a kid running away from Karn, which kids
Gotcha.
always do. I mean, they run away from Karn when they see him.
Wait a minute, was that attempting to run away, or did Karn actually miss?
Well, he had kind of used all of his action in that running over there and attacking. So the
Yeah.
kid used
Right,
his.
didn't have the option, right? Okay, makes sense.
think Zofan would rather run over to where the others are, or Basil and the Rand too.
Okay.
When he'd see the Crookhorns, he would immediately start doing cartwheels.
Okay.
And then let Chihai loose.
All right.
Maybe this one. Nope, that's almost just as bad.
Oof.
Are you attacking the one that Basil Bessex is, or somebody new?
Somebody new.
Oh, Basil Wilberforce. What's he doing?
Well, I don't know if he knows anything's going on over there or not. If he might have gotten a clue from Basil breaking into a run when he rounded the corner. So he might look over to investigate. He might be able to see something there.
Okay.
Well,
Yeah,
there
you-
was the clang on the ground as the guy in full plate mail tried to roll around.
If he
Oh,
goes
no,
over
how
to
much-
investigate and sees these things, he's going to shoot at one. I mean, obviously, but I didn't know if it was going to be a rational thing to, think he might do. Oh, he got a 4.
To hit?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, he's not really sure if this is the best idea.
It's weird. The people who started out attacking all hit, and then suddenly the party started whipping.
And I think he's back to full health. Karn's at -2. Okay. Yeah, he got a 4 to hit. 5 with his bonus. Big bad 5.
So yeah, you turn around, you see there's 3, you see that Zofan and Basil Bessex, and you see that there are 3 of them there. So Sir Rikkan runs over and he tries to grab that kid who's running away. Yeah, he scoops that kid like right up. This
Nice.
dirty, grimy kid who's like running away, and Sir Rikkan runs over and, whoa, not so fast, lad. And the kid's like kicking and trying to get, it's like, let me go. I want to be with my friends.
Orion, who is also used to narrative conventions, is just waiting for the kid to turn into something, evil and nasty. He just knows it's going to happen.
So let us roll initiative. The friar is going to do something, but I need to find it. I'm not going to hold stuff up. So let's roll initiative. I will say D6. I rolled a 4. So pick somebody who doesn't have a negative.
Does anybody have +2?
Yep. For 6.
All right. Who rolled that?
That was Felix.
Okay, 6. I rolled a 4. All right, you guys are up first. That's the situation you are witnessing right now.
Okay. Well, Orion and John Tor are hearing lots of noise around the corner, so they're going to, move just enough to see around said corner, and seeing enemies, pick targets, and go. Okay, 13 for Orion. Does that hit?
Yeah. So just as you're about to do that,
Yeah.
what sounds like the blaring of trumpets, lets loose in this area, as you see the friar raise his hand and he speaks, you hear him say something. Everyone gets a +1 to attack and damage as you are given. He does the prayer of the righteousness of Saint Godwin, and essentially has given you all bless.
Okay. Does a 14 hit?
Yes, it does.
All righty. 4 +1. I was inspired. 5 damage.
Okay. So this is Orion. Which one are you going after?
Pick one. Doesn't matter.
Okay, so there's one that hasn't been attacked yet.
That would be, yes. That would be the one, since one of my colleagues would not be engaged in it, right in front of its face.
Okay.
So that would be the one.
So 5 damage.
Yep. John Tor is going to follow Orion's lead and completely miss.
Felix is going to take another swipe, and he says, you just need to know where to place the edge. For a total of 17.
Okay. Are you attacking the one that Orion shot at, or the one that Basil is fighting, or the one that Zofan's fighting?
The one that Zofan is fighting.
Gotcha. Good call. That's a hit.
For 6.
Okay. Big cut into him. All right. Who's next?
Basil will raise his fist and swing again. And just maybe this dice. Nope, that's he misses.
Oh no.
Basil.
But Zofan will continue to cartwheel and see if he can land another blow. I haven't been able to roll above a 10
Ouch.
on 4 different dice. Well, 3 different dice. Well, the cartwheel is because he's an acrobat. It's trying to take advantage of his tumbling attack.
Oh, so he
Yeah,
does
you
have
kind of
some-
like distract the person they're watching you going, wait a minute, where's he going? Where's he going? Oh,
Yep.
Yeah,
yeah.
No, he does sort of have a tumbling attack. Okay.
he does. Just haven't
Yep.
been very successful in using it.
Okay.
We got Clintock, Basil, Karn.
I don't think Karn can get involved over there from here, can he? Does he even know?
Well, you know that everybody's like over there shooting and fighting.
Yeah.
Rikkan is right near you. He's grabbed the kid.
But we
Oh, you're all the way over there you're in the graveyard. I got
yeah. Yeah, we're in the graveyard. Do we even know what's going on and how far away are we?
you. Yeah, you can hear the sound.
I don't know how far away we are from them.
Give me a wisdom roll.
All right. Karn's wisdom
See
is
that. Let's see
16
that.
and I got a 5.
You hear noises like goat bleeping.
Well, then he's going to make his way in that direction because he knows these are goat things.
Okay, like behind you.
Oh, behind me.
Yeah.
Ooh.
And when you turn around and look, you see 6 sets of eyes.
I'm not going anywhere. Cuthbert demands that you surrender or die.
You're really gonna? Never mind. I presume that immediately precedes a strike because I don't exactly see you giving these guys, you know,
I mean, I just chopped one of their heads off, right?
Yep.
benefit of the doubt.
Okay. So yeah, you can attack one of them because you turn and you can see them kind of like in the shadows.
Oh, yeah. Have at him. Why not?
All right.
Surrender or die. Chop, chop, chop. Yeah. there's
I
a
got
good one.
a 15 minus 2 plus 1 plus 2. Evens out. I got a 15.
Okay.
And does I hit?
Yeah.
5 points.
5 points of damage. Nice.
Clintock is gonna try and shoot one of the Is there an unharmed one, or has everybody been hit now? I feel like the one maybe Basil is fighting is unhit, but I could be wrong.
Yeah, you are correct. The one that Basil is fighting has been unharmed.
Yes.
And there shouldn't be any kind of negative because these guys are huge.
All right. Gonna burn my hustle point because that was a really shitty roll. All right. So for 16.
Yeah, that's definitely a hit.
Oh, for 12 damage.
Whoa.
Assuming I get backstabbed still.
Yeah. Did you add the +1 from the bless?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Or no, that would be 13 in that case.
Okay, tell me how he dies. Because he had 13 hit points.
An arrow whizzes right past Basil's face and strikes it right between the eyes. And then it like topples over backwards.
Wow. Okay.
And that's how you do it.
What happens when you burn a hustle point sometime?
Mm-hmm.
All right, that's all my attacks for the turn.
All right. Okay, who's left?
Basil Wilberforce. He has to make an attack. Sounds like his target's taken down, or was that the other Basil?
Other
That was the other
Basils.
Basils.
That was the other Basil.
Yeah.
So he'll stay on his target. Oh, damn it. I know I can do better than that. Use the dice tower, Paul. No, I cannot. He got a 5 plus 1.
Okay.
Damn it.
All right. Who is left? Is that everybody?
I think that's everyone, but I could be wrong.
Okay. All right. So Sir Rikkan has got the kid and he's like, look, he sees Karn over there. Like he sees the eyes and he's like, he puts the kid, he drops the kid. He's like, don't run far, child. Run. He said, yeah, he tells the friars, like, grab this kid. And Saint Rikkan comes, saint. He could be a saint, the way things are going. Sir Rikkan comes running over with his short sword, and he's going to attack one of these guys with his 2. He fails. You know, well, there was a lot of stuff in his way, and he's just like, foul creatures. Let's go down the line here. Here's my little handy dandy chart. So we've got, the one that Basil Bessex was fighting is dead. Yeah. So the one on Zofan, he will attempt to hit you with his horns.
Okay.
And with a measly 8 + 1, 9,
Yeah.
he fails. The other one charges Felix with his horns, he's being shot at. He comes after Felix, and there's a 3, and he fails.
Felix just laughs at him.
So there'll be 3 attacks on Karn and 2 on Sir Rikkan, because there's 6. No, there's 6. So, well, that's easy. 3 and 3, right? Because you didn't kill that one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah. So 3 attacks on you, Karn.
Well, he's got his plate
Fail.
mail and his shield and his oak seer statue. So
All right, they are all okay. They are trying to bite you. Well, wow, I haven't rolled anything over a 10.
Nice.
Oh, there we go, 13. So they all tried. 3 of them around you, like snapping, trying to bite you. Okay, that is a hit on our NPC.
No.
18.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm
Sir
pretty sure
Rikkan.
that's hit 19. That's 3 damage. That's a miss. It's another 2, another 4. So yeah. So Rick can kind of fight one off. One actually gets a bite in on him. It's like, oh, you foul creature.
Right. So we're supposed to avoid the horns and the teeth. What are they attacking with? Horns and teeth. I mean, not surprising, but just like,
Got to use the resource you have at hand.
Okay. That is all their attacks. And a roll initiative for the next round. 2. There we go.
Anybody else?
One of the +1s.
Yeah, Zofan's got a +1.
All right.
Okay.
+1.
All right. 4.
Okay, you're up first.
Basil's gonna punch the one that tried to hit Zofan.
Okay, go for it.
Hey, there we go. That is an 18.
Oh, nice.
Does that hit?
Oh yeah, yeah. Their armor class is 13.
That is 5 damage.
All right, is that with the bless?
So it's 6 damage.
6 damage for Karn earlier then too.
Yeah, I said attack and damage, right? Yeah.
Yep. I didn't add it to my damage.
No, that's fine. Yeah. Tell me how he dies. Kill him.
Frustrated by his lack of connection, his lack of connecting to the other one, and it was managed to be killed right in front of him. He turns around to seeing Zofan under the gun and just clocks this Crookhorn as it bleats its final
Bleat.
step. Yeah.
All right. Okay. So there's one left over on this group with Felix and Basil and Zofan. There's Karn and Sir Rikkan on the exact opposite side.
I'll see if I can't help out Karn and Sir Rikkan there. Duntor's going to fire up his handy dandy sleep spell. Okay, then I can sleep 2d8 hit dice of creatures, and it will always be the weakest first. Sounds like they're pretty equal. So, and I am going to be aiming for the group that Karn and Sir Rikkan are fighting. So, completely average. 9 hit dice worth of creatures get to make a spell save or fall asleep.
Okay. So it is save versus spell. Okay. So there's 4 saves. Fail, fail, fail. Here's my nat 1.
There's
So
like-
yeah, Karn, you see 4 of them just kind of like slump over and fall asleep.
Okay. And Orion is going to attempt to slingshot one of the ones that's on. He trusts Karn, so it's going to be one of the ones. If there are any left on Sir Rikkan, he rolls a 16 total.
Yeah.
3 + 1, 4 damage. And so for those, again, reminder on the sleep rules, it's an auto kill with a bladed weapon. So
Yeah. Karn,
But-
the one that was fighting you just fell asleep.
There's
So
2
they're
standing over here, right?
Yeah, there's 2 there. Yep.
Okay.
companions can wake them up, though. Go for the ones that are still up first.
Yeah, Karn would not choose to attack a creature that's down and asleep over one that's standing and fighting. Anyway, Basil W, on the other hand, would crawl in there and start slitting throats.
All right.
But Karn will make an
Yeah.
attack for one that's standing and fighting.
Okay.
And he gets a 16.
That's a hit.
7 points of damage. Woo! And Basil Wilberforce still has 1 or 2 to deal with.
Let's see. Basil Wilberforce. There's just one over where you guys are fighting.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to try to see it. And he gets a 14 plus 1, 15
Yep.
plus dexterity, 16.
Yep.
So that's a d6. 4 points.
All right. Felix is going to try and whack him down since he just missed him for a total of 15.
Yep.
He does 10 points of damage.
Yep. Tell me how he dies.
Since he had just like missed like charging at him, he like just like whacks him in the back of the head with the pommel of his sword as he comes by and just
Mhm.
like falls face first into the ground.
All right. So yeah, you guys making quick work of these. Is that everybody?
No, can Clintock see the graveyard crew?
Yeah, you can.
All right, he's gonna try and get a shot off on them. He whiffs it though.
See. Sir Rikkan, I don't think that's a hit for him. I don't think he's got a big enough bonus. In fact, he has no bonus. Hello. So he swings max damage, but I can't. He swings. He misses. The friar manages to grab the kid before he runs into the back into the abbey. It's like, come here, and the kid's like kicking and screaming and let me go. That is going to be a miss on Karn.
Nice.
And another, if I had what 2 was 20, I'd be kicking it. And they fail both times. All right, next round. Here we go. D6. I rolled a 4.
One of the plus ones.
I got a plus 1 on
Go for it.
Basil.
Yeah, both my characters are +1.
3 plus 1, 4.
Okay. Well, Orion and Jontar will be providing missile support as usual.
Okay.
Orion misses this time. Jontar 16 hits.
Okay.
3 plus 1 for 4 damage. And it will again be the one on the one fighting Karn, probably.
Okay.
Yep. Got to make sure the armor makes it. Yeah, of course, that's the answer.
All right.
Clintock is gonna try and let another arrow loose over that way for 15. Does that hit?
Yep.
Oh, and if I'm still able to get backstab, that's 19. But
Yeah.
all right, for 5 damage.
Okay. Tell me how that dies.
It just literally gets shot in the gut with one of the arrows, and just like hunches over and slowly
Okay.
falls down to the ground.
All right. 1 is left.
Karn, you're right there.
Can't see. It didn't come out of my dice tower. I'm trying to pull it out without changing the number. 15.
Nice.
6 points of damage plus 1, 7.
All right. Tell me how he dies.
He just straight stabbing through where he thinks the heart is. He just steps in with a lunge and pulls his sword back, wipes the blood off, looks over at Rikkan and says, "Is there any negotiating with them? Should we give these a chance to surrender?"
Yeah. Before you can say that, he is hacking the ones who are asleep.
I'll help him. I figure if he's a knight, he's got honor.
Yeah, so you finish them off, and there's a foul stench as they're cut open. Well, worse that they've been cut open.
Yeah, I was going to say, Rikkan got bit. Do we have to worry about, and he's supposedly the expert. We'll ask him, you got bit. You going to be okay there, or what do we need to do?
He says, "Yeah, well, you made quick work of them. I'm thoroughly impressed with your abilities. We get back to the keep. We'll have it looked at by the clerics. Should be fine."
Okay.
Is this all of them?
Well, we need to
there
we
may
need
be
to
that.
deal with what the kids are and search around.
Says, well, there's at least one more child inside that abbey.
Orion being, the high charisma guy is going to, squat down and try to talk to the kid and say, "Oh, hey, we're the good guys. We're here to clean out the Crookhorns. I mean, the two knights there, knights are always good guys, right? You can talk to us." And we'll try to calm down the kid so he can get so we can, figure out what the heck's going on here.
So are you speaking into the Abbey, or are you speaking to the kid that's the friar
No, I'm
is?
speaking outside.
Make a wisdom roll.
Oh, not my best. We'll see what I can do. Holy shit. Been doing a lot of that today. Don't know.
Okay,
Can you
so you, as you're saying this and trying to speak into him, and you look into his eyes, you realize he is under some kind of magical effect. Something is affecting him, some sort of enchantment. You're like, yeah, this has got to be it.
Okay, well, I will say, there's something affecting his mind. I don't think we're going to be able to reason with him until we can break whatever it is.
So maybe we should just bring him back to this lady Harrowmoor. She can do something, or maybe she has healers on staff. Or
Didn't he mention he wanted to get to his friends?
He
Tell
is-
us, child, where are your friends that you want to see?
So let me go. Let me go. I don't. So why are you trying to take me? Let me go. I need to stay here with my friends.
What friends?
All my friends in the Abbey.
You have friends inside?
Yes.
Friends like you?
Yeah, not mean like you.
I think that tells us what we need to know.
So what are you going to do?
Again, even if they are real kids, they could be used as bait. Keep your weapons out and your eyes open, and keep a rear guard as we enter this abbey.
Clintock leans in and says to the kid, so your friends told me they were playing a new game that they wanted you to play in. Do you want to hear the rules of your game?
What a game? What game? What game do you have?
Oh,
I know games.
Yeah, it's this really great game. It's called Point Out Your Friends Before They Point Out You.
You bastard.
Yeah, what we need to do is we need to get into the Abbey without you being seen, but you need to make sure you show us where your friends are at, and that's how you win the game. They said they had some candy for whoever won.
A candy would be good.
Ryan just rolls his eyes,
I saw a bar of chocolate.
Ryan really rolls his eyes. Like,
Well, Bilberry's in there. He points to like the door to the Abbey. He's hiding in there, I know. He's probably just inside the door.
I got a good idea. Why don't you run in and like jump out and scare him, and we'll come from behind. He'll
Okay.
never expect that.
Oh, okay. And the friar's got a hold of this kid. He's like, do you want me to let him go?
Oh, absolutely. How else is he going to play the game?
Okay. And he lets him go, and the kid kicks the friar's shin. You jerk.
Uh,
And that kid like takes off running.
yeah, so Clintock is going to follow quickly behind him, but he's going to grab out his dagger, getting ready to like stab whatever's around the corner after the kid baits it.
Okay. So yeah, the kid runs as fast as he can, jumps into like, right, like does that. And you hear like a kid scream. He's
Another
like, that's
kid
not
said-
funny, you jerk.
It's another kid, not a lingering
And then
evil,
you run up to the doorway.
Yeah.
Yeah, just inside. The Abbey it's fairly dark in there, and you can see that it's like a younger kid. Hair is dirty blonde, but it's literally blonde but dirty. And he was like, that wasn't funny.
Clintock is going to like follow after this distraction and has leaped around the corner and will like dart just around the corner and grab the kid like knife to throat, but not stab him. Try and like grab him and have him in like a headlock.
Which kid?
The kid that was hiding behind the door.
Okay, yeah. I mean, yeah, you grab him with the knife. Okay. He's like, what are you trying to do?
We're playing a game. You got caught. Now you're on our team.
So as Clintock is inside the doorway doing this, everybody else realizes that it's getting awfully dark outside. Like the clouds are rolling in and it's getting really dark. Before there was a little bit of sunlight and a little bit, but now it's starting to get dark, like almost unnaturally dark outside. And you can hear those ravens getting really agitated. And Clintock, as you're in there, you hear a voice. It's a girl's voice, and she says, "I'm not aware of this game that you're playing."
You weren't told the new rules?
And as you look towards the voice, there's some stairs that lead up to the second floor, and there's a girl dressed. She looks like she's dark haired, but her clothes are raggedy, but you could tell that they are aristocratic make. Like they were nice clothes at one time.
Yeah.
And she says, "Mr. Raggenbones won't like this game."
Rag and bones.
All right.
And just as she says that, that flock of ravens descends down onto the group, and we can stop right there.
Nice. I was really tempted to shoot the ravens earlier, but I decided not to. I was like, these ravens can't be good.
Yeah,
Usually not.
Yeah, that's pretty much what I was thinking. But on the other hand, we didn't want to get them in the fight. At least this way we cleared out everything.
Yeah.
You guys did really good against the Crookhorns. So there are random encounters in Fort Vulgar, and one of the random encounters was the knight shows up and says that there's Crookhorns amassing. So you guys went for that. I randomly rolled 3d10 to see how many Crookhorns there were.
Woo.
And I randomly rolled for their hit points, because that's why you could drop some that were just with one shot.
Yeah.
Yeah. Man, imagine if you rolled 30 Crookhorns. That would have been a much different fight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, you guys had the surprise, took them out, and then the stuff with this kid is with these kids is completely different than when I read. I was like, oh, okay, that's part of it too. So
Nice. Yeah.
So, yeah.
Now we got a hostage. Maybe Mr. Raggenbones will appreciate.
Yeah. Not betting on that.
Doesn't sound good.
Very good. All right, appreciate it, guys.
All
All right, have a good one.
Take care.
It was fun as usual.
Good.
Yeah.